Hey, it's a Bearded Fisherman, Two Branches Homestead. Today we're going to show you how to build a holzhaufen. Holzhaufen is a way to stack firewood that you don't need a tarp or anything to keep your wood dry. The way you stack it is actually keeps your wood dry. It looks nice in your lawn. It's sort of like a work of art, and it's kind of fun to do too. First, you're going to start with some pallets. Put them in roughly an 8-foot square. We'll cover this later in the video, but pallets are essential to keeping the bottom dry. You could stack it also maybe on gravel or something like that, but you definitely want to get this up off the ground. So the goal today is to show you how to take a pile of wood that looks like that and make it into something that looks like that. This is how we start, just some pallets to keep the wood up off the ground. When you have standard size pallets, you have to leave a little gap so that you can make a round holz. If you don't leave a gap, it'll be oblong. So that's something we contend with. Usually put some bark in there or something so the wood doesn't contact the ground. Now this is how we get started. We stack a circle of wood, bridge the gap there, of just a quarter of a piece, like that. Lay it on edge like this, and that will be the beginnings of our holes. It's important to find ones that are fairly flat, otherwise they'll be tipping, and like anything else, you don't want to have a weak base. Okay, now we're doing some stacking, and one quick tip in the beginning is you'll see for every 2 longer ones you're going to want a shorter one, because the bottom is going to want to taper in right there, see, because it's a circle. So that'll keep you tipped in, because the key to this is getting tipped in. The next thing you're going to want to do is, if you have any gaps that are real thin, like this one, you're going to want to find a nice skinny piece of wood, put it in there. See how nice it fits? This isn't like just stacking your wood up regular. This takes a little thought. The other thing, which is huge, is remember all these pieces when you were stacking? Let me just set it down so you can see it. With the big outside and a knot, and how you hated those. Well, now you're going to love those, because those take up spaces like that. You're going to be able to take it, stick it in there, and keep your stack tipped in towards the center, because that's the most important. If you have a stack that tips out, or your stack starts to tip out, you're going to want to start over, because it will fall. Okay, the holz is starting to take shape, and you were probably wondering why I didn't complete the circle in the beginning. And now you can see. Leave a space to get in, to stack the wood in the middle, which is stacked vertically on end. And you'll see that it saves you a lot of trouble. When I first started building these, I would complete the circle and then climb down in there. And it's not as much fun as you would think. It's much easier to do it this way. Okay guys, I figured I'd show you one of the old ones. These are a year old or so. And you can see how they've kind of collapsed a little bit on themselves. The wood is weathered, some of the bark has come off. Here's one that I've used a little wood from. And you can see just how dry and nice the wood is on the interior of them. Occasionally, no matter how many knots you stack out, your pile's going to tip. And then you need a nice thin piece of wood. I always throw these aside in the beginning so that I have them on hand if I ever need to do it. I usually have to use 1 or 2 per holz. I also put aside half pieces. Those we'll use for the top, as you'll see later. So as you're going through the pile, there's 4 different kinds of pieces. You got the real thin ones, the half pieces, the ones with a knot, and your regular pieces. And you'll use them all differently in this. This is not just like stacking up a wood pile. This is like kind of a puzzle. And so you'll get used to looking for the pieces you need. It's more like building a stone wall. Okay guys, here we are at a sort of a critical phase of building the holzhaufen. You can see that we have the bottom there stacked on edge to keep everything tipped in, and all our knots stacked out. Now we begin to build the roof. Inside, which we've already shown you, is the vertically stacked wood, and now we make a teepee with the wood in the middle and keep building our way out, eventually attaining that. All the bark should be out. That'll help shed the rain. And we'll keep building, we'll get back. All right guys, here we are. We're up on top of the holz. And you can kind of see, it's a little hard to see, how all the wood ends up stacked along the top. Comes up, kind of make a little teepee at the top, and then we'll just cap this with a few of the half split pieces. Those are the best for the top, are the ones that are half. So I kind of save all those, and we'll just stacked up over the top like a teepee like that one, and we'll be done with this holz here. Well, now you know how to build a holzhaufen. There you have it. The best part of building the holzhaufen is when you're done, ice cold beer. That's what you just earned. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was helpful. If you leave some comments, that'd be great. If you subscribe to us, that'd be even better. Be sure to check us out on twobrancheshomestead.com.